I've come to a major decision about movies and how I watch them, and Deadpool and Wolverine was the catalyst that pushed me over the edge on this. So listen, I've been talking about movies for the better part of 8 years on this platform. I love cinema. I love the culture behind cinema, and I really feel like cinema, as I know it and as I want to see it, is dying. And in its place is a huge monolithic franchise machine. 10 sequels, 15 sequels of this one thing that once was fresh. And then when we do get something that's fresh, nobody goes to see it. And I'm talking about the theater. And I'm talking about how I'll see, this year alone, I've seen so many great movies, and I talk about them here on my channel. And people say, well, I'll have to check that out when it comes to disc or streaming because I don't go to the movies. But they do go to the movies for the big tentpole franchise films. Anything that's familiar. Listen, Deadpool and Wolverine is the catalyst for this because this is a self-manifesting prophecy. The media has already decided that Deadpool and Wolverine is the savior of the summer. It's the savior of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because the corporate machine is behind this movie, whether it hits expectations or not, that's beside the point. People are going to go see this. People have been buying their tickets to this thing for months already. Regal Cinema, somebody sent me this today. One of my friends said, look, they're charging a premium for Deadpool. It's like $5 more for a Deadpool ticket than any other movie that's playing at that theater. I'm like, this is insanity. And the showings are selling out. So I want no part of that. I want to be a part of fresh cinema, of cinema that feels new and dangerous and risky. So I have made the decision that I am not going to support a tentpole film, a franchise film, specifically a sequel, a reboot, a prequel, something that exists in a larger franchise. I'm not going to support it during its first week of release. That's, for some people, I announced this on social media a couple of days ago. For some people, this was too extreme. They're like, whoa, you're not going to go see it on opening weekend? For other people, it wasn't extreme enough because they were like, but you're still going to go. You're still going to support the thing with your money. So I realize that this is just one step, but it's a start, right? What's the phrase? It's better to light a single candle than to curse the darkness. This is me lighting a candle. I'm seriously worried about the future of movies. Theaters are already in danger because if it doesn't have a cartoon character in it, or if it's not animated, a CGI film by Disney, people aren't going. They're just waiting for it to come home. And they'll pay $20 for video on demand rather than pay like $10 to go see it at a matinee. That they're just staying home. And so the theaters are in serious trouble. The studios are getting the message that all we want is familiar. Give us sequels, give us stuff we've already got, slap a new coat of paint on it, sell it to us again, we'll lap it up. It's been like this for a long time, but it's never been this bad. The top 10 movies of every year are usually the big dumb franchise fare. But we always had alternatives to that. We always had other kinds of movies. But these movies that aren't big tentpole movies are in and out of theaters now in like 3 weeks. Horizon, An American Saga Chapter 1, which you guys know I loved because I made a video about it right after I got home from the theater. Nobody saw that in the theater, but they're catching up with it on video on demand. Interestingly, there's like a divide that has formed between... There's a joyful audience that is so happy that Horizon failed. And I'm on social media, right? I'm looking at these people that are like, Horizon sucked. And first of all, I wonder if they actually watched it. Second of all, I go to look at what they post, and it's like Deadpool, and it's anime, and it's video games, and it's all sequel franchise IP. There's not a single original thing in that feed. And so I'm realizing now that cinema is it's been divided. There are people who are like me that really view cinema as like, well, it's an expression of human art. It's got stories. It's got something to say. It tells us cinema is a mirror, right? That's not what Marvel movies are. Marvel movies are not cinema. And I realize I'm taking a stand on this. I realize that this is going to step on some toes. Marvel movies are a product. Now look, all movies are a product, but Marvel movies exist to sell you popcorn buckets and action figures, and you can get them on your underoos. And when you're done with the movie, you can swing by Target and you can pick up the Deadpool air freshener or the Iron Man lunchbox. These are things that are they only exist as property. as IP. And when Bob Iger has these shareholder calls at Disney and he says, we're doing a great job of mining that IP, that's gross, and I want no part of that. That doesn't mean I'm never going to watch those movies, but it sure does mean that I don't want to support those movies while they're in theaters at the expense of something that I'm far more interested in and that needs my support far more than the Marvel movie or the tentpole movie, the franchise movie. The patronizing CGI thing that's going to manipulate your emotions at the end and make you feel, it's sad. Disney, these are what these movies do. They take you on an emotional, they make you feel, they make you feel comfortable, and they remind you of childhood, and they remind you of grandma. But it's manipulating you to sell you things, and not all movies are designed to do that. Not all movies do that. And so I just don't want to be a part of that right now. And I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know if this is a forever thing. And this is also a luxury that I'm able to do this. Because look, as much as I talk about movies, I'm not a certified critic. I'm not on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't get to see movies early. If I go see a movie, I have to buy my ticket for it. So it'd be a different conversation if I was a recognized critic, which is, frankly, I'd like to do that. That's a path I would like to pursue at some point. And when you do that, you need to see the movie during the screening process beforehand so you can have a review up. That's not the position that I'm in. I have to buy my ticket on Friday or Thursday night like everybody else, and I just want to put my money where my mouth is. Now, because I know how the internet works, this is going to trigger a lot of people. Even the word trigger now is a trigger. It's going to make a lot of people upset. People are going to be like, why, bro? Why? Somebody said, but you're going to miss all these great summer movies. Am I? First of all, I'll be there. If I really want to see him, I'll be there the next weekend. But am I really missing anything? You know, we've got an Alien sequel that's coming out. I just saw Alien, the first Alien movie, again for its anniversary in theaters. My Lord, you guys. We don't need a sequel to that movie. We didn't even need Aliens. Ridley Scott's first Alien movie is a perfect movie. It is a fully formed, complete entity. It doesn't need anything we've added to that. Has really just borrowed from what already existed. These movies, they're just taking buckets to the same well, and that well is eventually going to run out. And I feel like some people just don't care. They're like, I just need to see Michael Myers. I don't care if the movie's good. I hate it. I hated that last Scream movie. I hope the next one's good. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I don't want to be a part of that conversation. Listen, I grew up a comic book kid. I grew up surrounded, steeped in 80s culture, 90s culture, loving Robotech, loving anime. Vampire Hunter D was my jam, you guys. The idea that these things just go on and 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 echo endlessly and never stop and never have an end and never get fresh, never get out of the way for fresh things to come in. I can't stand it. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm not asking you to join me. But if you think it sounds like a good idea, I sure would love to hear from you. I think if more of us took a stand about what we believed and put our money where our mouth was, things would look very different. We're very comfortable. Oh, that sounds really good, Heath, but gosh, I don't want to miss out on insert franchise film here. Well, that movie's going to be there. You have no problem missing out on the smaller films that are fantastic. So I don't understand why it's the corporate machine. I put up a video a couple of weeks ago talking about They Still Live, how John Carpenter warned us that this is not new, this corporate controlled entity where like a movie succeeds oftentimes because the machine gets behind it and just decides it's going to be a success. There is a certain amount of like self-fulfilling, like, when every outlet is controlled by, when they're being paid for something, when reviewers are being paid, and when corporates, when newspapers or television channels or whatever are owned by a larger corporation that also owns that movie, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm getting off the merry-go-round for now by waiting a week. It's not a huge deal. I'm waiting a week. It's not like I'm sacrificing, this incredible thing. It's 1 week. But I wanted to make a video about it because clearly I'm passionate about it. I think this is the right thing. Might not be the right thing for you. It's definitely the right thing for me. I want movies for grown-ups. I want movies that have something to say, and they're dying. The mid-budget movie is already dead. The original idea is a unicorn in today's marketplace. I want to support that. That's the kind of movie that made movie fans out of everybody. I asked on Twitter/X a couple of days ago, I asked, what was the movie that made you love movies? Guess how many of them were franchise films? None. The few there, some of them were like the first entry, like oh, it was Alien. Not any of the sequels, no prequels, no sequels. It was all something that was new and fresh at that time. And we don't have that anymore. Not really. So this is a wake-up call for me. And I'm going public with it. So let me know what you think about it. If you join me, I'd love to hear from you. Take care. Until next time, I'll catch you later.